Alright, hey everybody, this is Ryan with NCBPA welcoming you to my crawl space. So this is one of those situations where do as I say, don't do as I do. I have a house here in Raleigh, been living here for about 3 years, and the last thing that I do before I sell my house is to encapsulate my crawl space, and it is a mess. So we thought that as part of some general education and some learning opportunities, we would take a quick tour of my non-encapsulated crawl space to see just how bad it is and what needs to happen with it. So for a little perspective, this is a 1959 1,500 square foot house. The person that I bought it from lived here for about 60 years. One owner basically didn't touch anything. So I've been working on it for about 3 years, and the crawl space has, amongst other problems, bulk water issue, poor ventilation and kind of mold, mildew kind of issues as well. We've got standing water in there. There's no insulation in the subfloor. I put down a little bit of a liner. We had to move the HVAC system because the condensate pump was having to act as a sump pump. There actually is a sump pump that I installed, but it's not able to dig down deep enough so that it would actually come on by itself, so I have it set on a daily timer. So yeah, the foundation's also a bit of a mess. There are rocks and 2x4s holding up some of the foundation subfloor, and some of it's rotted as well. Not good. So anyways, we're gonna go take a look, so tag along and we'll see what a bed crawl space looks like. Alright, so we're gonna start the tour outside, where you can see that there is 1/2-inch PVC pipe that I've laid in this nice little trough that has been worn out over time because of bulk water coming out of the crawl space. So there's a little bit of 6mm liner down here. I've put that in basically just to be able to move around a little easier. You can see the HVAC system is here. There's a condensate pump here. This is just again towards the front of the entrance here. That thing does flood on occasion, so the condensate pump is again acting more like a sump pump, unfortunately. You can see the piers here. Most are cinder block, but we've also got some 2x4s and 2x6s kind of holding them up, and then you can see in the subfloor here, no insulation. So, all right, let's move on. Here we go. All right, so we've got properly sealed HVAC because this is actually just pretty new. It just happened about a year ago, but you can definitely see some issues, a little bit of mold growth and kind of mildew in the subfloor, and yeah, lots of insects. That's fun. And here's what the ground floor looks like. This is all wet, by the way. All right. Okay, we're here at problem area number 1. I know it's a little dark. Lighting's not on down here, but you can see that in addition to some of just the kind of foundational support issues, there's this big hole here. It's my sump pump. So there's a bulk water issue coming from the back corner there. That's basically the high spot in the crawl space. Water comes in through the yard, basically just pools down in that corner. There's a channel here, kind of runs down, pools water here, and then when that overflows, especially before I had the sump pump, it would basically just move itself water over down this channel, and that's why I have that going outside. So you can see a couple of old tanks and pumps left over from previous work, and yeah, it's a little messy. Ductwork is okay. It's been here for a while. You can see that there's some holes just going to the outside where some of the plumbing and mechanicals have been put in. Okay, so the other side is not as damaged, fortunately, but you can see a couple of different issues. First off, this is the lowest point in the crawl space, so there's definitely some moist-ridden ground here, also some wildlife. You can see that yellow spot there and that joist. That's a bad thing, so that's going to need to be cleaned up and replaced. We've got standing water here directly next to a pier, being held up again, 2x6s. Okay, here's a mess. How about this? Hopefully everybody can kind of see enough of this. So this is the plumbing underneath my 2 bathrooms. So you've got the master on the right and then the guest on the left. This has been an interesting issue. The subfloor was pretty rotted just because of water damage inside the bathroom, and replaced a lot of the plumbing, so that's, some of it's new, most of it's old still. Got some foundation issues here, as you can see. When you have a rock and a couple different pieces of cinder block holding up your bathrooms, it's not a good thing. So temporary fix, that needs to be fixed before the crawl can be encapsulated, and then obviously the plumbing lines here, have to work around those. So I think you can see as well, there is some rot from water damage from up in the bathrooms. Speaking of the bathroom, there's my tub. So this is the guest bath. You can see lots of wood rot. Again, that's from water damage, so that'll have to be replaced as well. But getting back to the crawl space, you can see just how messy it is in here. Lots of cinder blocks down there, a couple different series holding up foundation. We've got some electrical wires over there just kind of hanging down on the floor. Just a lot of garbage, so this all needs to be cleaned out. Way back there in the back, won't be able to get back there right now. There's standing water next to one of the piers as well. So lots and lots of issues.